Hello, hypothetical viewers, and welcome back to Shining Force Gaiden. In today's battle, we're basically going to walk a really long way. That's sort of standard here. I'm trying to decide whether to go around the outside or go through the inside. I think the inside is slightly shorter in terms of map squares, but we would have to go through the mountain. I'm just going to go around the outside, you know? It's going to be slow no matter what we do, so, you know. It is what it is, right? We just gotta walk. I feel like that is something I've complained about in every Shining Force game, and that has been a consistent issue in all of them, is that the map designs often are just tedious. Like, they're not designed in a way that makes it like, oh, it'll be really challenging to get to our objective. You know, we're gonna have to figure out, like, how to do it. Or how to, like, get around all these obstacles. It's just like, well, I guess we'll have to have some patience to keep walking all this way, which is not interesting. It is an old game though. It's literally early 90s. I think this one was in like 93. So, you know, that's a long time ago now. So it's understandable that the design was maybe not quite as up to a modern standard, but still. Yeah, so, you know, it's funny, King Edmond hasn't had that much of a presence in the story, really. Because, like, when we landed in Cyprus on the boat that we got from Claude, we ran into him at the docks, and he was like, oh, it's Prince Nick, and it was like, oh, Nick is a prince. And then he kind of vanished, and now he's back, and I guess we're gonna kill him. So, he doesn't have much of a personality. Oh, this is interesting. You can see the difference between the different kinds of movements. So, you can see how Domingo can't actually go through the mountains here. That's because he is a hovering character, whereas Claude is a flying character. We actually got another flying character last time, but, you know, I'm not sure I want to end the party or not. It's a maybe, and we haven't actually egressed and gone back to the camp yet. So for now, we're kind of keeping the same crew. I have to think about who I would switch out, you know, because, like, normally I don't keep the warriors around that long, but, like, Ruth, you know, he's on his quest to find his dad. I feel like we gotta keep him in the party. He was one of our earliest party members, so, you know, there's some merit in that. And Cray, I'm not as interested in as the other characters, but he's also quite useful. Obviously, I'm keeping all of my wizards. And both of the archers, I really like having a party filled with archers as well. I just love them. We have to keep Nick. We're keeping Mayfair. Gaiden, I'm like really hopeful that he'll actually get super amazing if I train him. He's doing quite well, so I don't want to take him out. So it's hard to figure out, you know, where I'd fit him in. Claude, obviously I'm not going to take up my other person. Apis is amazing, you know. This is going to be yet another battle where some characters can move more easily than others, so they'll just get all of the X. Claw's just gonna get ridiculous. Yeah, we're closing on the end here. This is the first This is the first mission of the 4th chapter, which is the final chapter in the game. So we're on like the last set of battles. You know what's amazing? I was checking to see where the final secret character is, and you get them in like battle 19 in a game with 22 battles. It's like, you know, there's a certain point at which an unlockable character comes too late in the game to the point where it's like, why is this here? Because you have no opportunity to actually use them. I wonder if Gaiden ignores terrain effects, because I know he has the running ring, but still, he doesn't seem to be hampered at all here. He seems to be able to go his full move. And I always felt like that might be the case, in previous games with the, like, Wolfman characters, because there was one in Shining Force 1 and Shining Force 2, and it always seemed like they were also not hampered by outdoor terrain. So I wonder if that's, like, a consistent thing, that all of the, like, animal people warriors, they don't get hampered by forests or whatever. That's kind of neat. Got a lot of flying enemies, naturally, to hassle us. And you guys think it's bold, which is annoying. It's quite strong. Man, this is going slow. This video may run long solely because it's going to take so long to walk all the way the other side of the map. term. But yeah, Shriek, I'll have to debate. I think it would either be Cray or Bruce. And probably I'd settle on Cray just because like he's useful, but I just am not as attached to him as the other characters. It's like he's fine, but you know, he's kind of whatever. So, and I feel like we, you know, we have plenty of melee attackers. He's strong, but I have other strong people. And he's a healer, but Mayfair really, you know, it takes care of all our healing needs quite handily. So I feel like we could swap him out, potentially. Critical hit, very good call. Man, after this video, I gotta make some dinner. I'm super hungry. Look at the Dervin here. Some exciting insight into the life of this Let's Play. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just do one more vid real quick just to kind of make some more progress on this. Which again is one of those things where it's like, it's not like I'm on a timetable here. Maybe I should post some of these solely so there'll be some sort of purpose to me like recording more of them. It's like, gotta give out a schedule, but I'm also like, I'm somewhat shy and retiring. It's like, do I really want to post them? Then there's at least a slim chance that someone else might see them. Although again, I do think it's likely that even if I posted these, I don't think anyone would ever find them unless I like knew them in real life and directed them to these vids, because I don't think the algorithm would really surface them. Like what? They're not related to any popular content. And they're all long, like they're not like 10 minutes, which I feel like is short vids are more favored, right, by the algorithm. I'm not some kind of master of it or anything, but that's what I've heard anyway. And I don't really have any other social media presence, so there's nothing to direct people to whatever the hell I'm working on, you know. It's funny, I used to have more of a social media presence way back in high school, you know, prior to modern social media, you know, but modern stuff, I'm like, man, I feel so old. I can't keep up with the kids these days. Short form content, I'm just like, oh, this is confusing. But at least they are pretty fun to make, if nothing else. Although, I probably will work on this less soon, because in November, it's NaNoWriMo time. So that's going to take up some hours. Yeah, this year for Nano, I've been writing like the same novel for Nano for like a decade, because there's basically this thing that I've been trying to finish that I keep going back and redrafting. Occasionally I write something else instead, but basically every couple years I'm like, this is the year, and I'm hoping this actually will be the year, because I'm like, good lord, I need to finish at least a couple projects that I start. My life is filled with projects that I like worked on and then abandoned halfway. That's just such a theme for me. I need to at least finish this. Something must be achieved. This is why I've always been really admiring of people who, you know, content creators who actually do make stuff consistently for a really long time, because I'm like, that's incredible. Like the people who, you know, they have like a massive archive of like dozens upon dozens of fanfics that they've written, like they have a, like, you know, a YouTube channel that they've kept up for years. And stuff like that, like webcomics, people who make webcomics, you know, have been putting out comics for years. It's like, that's amazing. Just to be able to stick to something and be organized enough to actually consistently do that for a long period of time, that is not easy. That is not a skill that I personally have mastered. I guess all the slow characters can get some X from fighting the enemies that are gradually meandering from behind. You can tell that the battle is really exciting when I'm just rambling on about my personal life. to get all the way over there. The enemies are really not even that tough. It's just so slow. Domingo's not gonna have any MP left by the time we get there, but whatever. You know, he needs something to do. He can defeat Dullahan. I'm pretty sure in Shining Force 1, this enemy was translated as something else. It was like Dullen or something. And I guessed at the time, I recall saying this on camera, or on microphone, I guess. There's no camera. I recall saying at the time that I thought it was probably intended to be Dullahan and was just not translated correctly, which appears to be correct. I guess that basically because I've seen Dullahan in other video games, like it was an enemy in Golden Sun. It was one of the special, like, secret bosses there too, not just a random enemy. This Golden Sun was also one of the games of my childhood. I was like, when Golden Sun 3, when Dark Dawn was announced, I was like, this is the fulfillment of all of my childhood dreams, because as a kid, you know, it was like, oh, imagine if they could make another one. And then it had been so many years since Golden Sun Lost Age came out that, you know, I kind of figured they were never going to. The franchise was just done. Especially since that game wrapped up pretty decisively. it was ended, you know, pretty well. It wasn't on a cliffhanger or anything. And when it was like, no, there's gonna be another one, I was like so thrilled. And then I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people apparently did, but you know, it was like, man, this sometimes some dreams shouldn't come true, you know? Or it's like it's never gonna please you as much as you imagined it would, you know. Oh, some golems appear. That's something to do, I guess. Yeah, it's like sometimes if you've been anticipating something for a long time, it could never actually be as good as you wish it would, you know. But I still, that game actually did end on a total sequel hook, and I guess it didn't do that well, I guess, or it wasn't very well critically regarded, so maybe they'll never make the sequel, which I'm like, I actually would really like them to. I'm like, I still want to play it. It was fun, you know, it was not a perfect game, but I thought it was fun to play. You know, what else do you need? I've played plenty of worse games that I forced myself to sit through because I was like, I spent good money on this. I'm gonna finish it. It's actually fairly rare for me to completely abandon a game. And in a way, it was not as a kid. There were plenty of games as a kid that I just never finished, you know? But now as an adult, when I'm buying them with my own money, you know, it's the feeling of like, I want to get my money's worth out of it. But, part of me feels like this shouldn't work because I'm like, no, the golem is a ground type. It will absorb electricity, but that's totally has nothing to do with this. But yeah, so sometimes, you know, I'll be like, if I really don't like a game from the beginning, then I'm like, I'm not going to play this. But, you know, if you get like most of the way through a game before it becomes really irritating, I'll still force myself to finish it just because it's like, I got this far and I paid $60 for this. But yeah, I forced myself to finish games that were a lot worse than that game. I had fun all the way through Dark Dawn. You know, it was like, this is like entertaining. So it was a success in at least that regard. This is gonna take they're never gonna catch up. Maybe I should just have them hang out and fight the whatever Cerberus or whatever, because they're not catching up. Quad and friends can handle Cerberus. Like, look at this. This is terrible. This map design is... I do fault the map design, because even if we went through the inside, we'd still be walking through these forests and mountains. It's just like, why... It looks very pretty, but why did they think this would be fun? They were not correct, if that's what they thought. Yeah, I'm gonna leave those guys behind, just give up on them and let them fight the other monsters or whatever. Something for them to do. Unfortunately, our healer has really fallen behind, but, you know, it couldn't be helped. They're blocked by terrain. Maybe I should have swapped in Shriek, just so we'd have someone else who can fly. Edmond just pacing back and forth, as is typical for the bosses in this series. They're very restless. The heat axe is kind of interesting as a sprite because it looks like it's sort of not that great because it just looks like it's like the color like a safety orange, like it's a protective gear or something. So it's sort of odd looking. Like it's weirdly flat and just plain. We probably should have started attacking before, but I was like, oh, we'll catch up with the others, but it's time to face the fact that we will not. More golems. Oh, at least 4 of our intrepid adventurers have reached the front. I wonder if Shade also has reduced terrain penalties, because, like, I think Shade is currently using the quick ring, though, so maybe he's just getting his turn more often. But, like, he's like an elf or whatever, right? So that would make sense. I guess I'll kill the golem before we go on to fight the wizard. Let's wrap that up. Man, Claude is just blasting ahead here. This is so slow. We're halfway through this video. There we go. Good job, Bruce. Young gladiator. I can hang out back here as well. And I guess for these guys, we'll just have them leap in and start attacking the Demon Master. A dangerous foe. Oh, nice. Yeah, Gaian's doing great. It's helpful because his attack started pretty low compared to everyone else, so, you know, I want him to catch up ASAP. Oh, Domingo's out of magic. I guess he can just attack for all the good it'll do. It's sort of useless without magic. I guess 3 points of damage is something, you know, maybe it'll help the others finish him off. Just how squishy the wizard enemies are. Is he just regular attacking Domingo? He is. That was very strange. This guy has plenty of MP. Does the enemy just... the healer. I was hoping we'd be able to blast him out a bit better. Does the enemy just favor melee attacks when they can only target one person? Because that doesn't make any sense. Like, strategically, it really does not. The melee attack of the wizard is never useful. Okay. I think we'll be able to finish him off. And meanwhile, bringing up the rear. There we go. Claude is really strong. And like, I don't want Claude to get all the X, but also this battle is just really annoying, and he can actually get to the end of the map unlike everyone else. So whatever. Can't be helped. Okay, let's start attacking the cleric. Again, we want to finish off the cleric prior to attacking Edmond, because otherwise he'll heal Edmond, and that will be such a waste of our time. Only Domingo still has some MP. I guess I'll have to just keep going this way. The Cerberuses seem to have way better movement in the forest, so I think for the rest of, you know, for the Dullahan, I think they're not quite as speedy. So, we can stay away from them. Even though these guys are really never going to get here. Man, if only I had given him like an item he could use to cast spells, but it was not to be. Still, I guess 4 damage against the cleric isn't nothing, you know? Ooh, this is tough. Gaiden. King Edmond's sprite, I like that they gave him the weird bulbous nose in his battle sprite also. Shit, he gets 2 attacks? Okay, my frontliners here may die, and we have to wait, and may have to wait for everyone to catch up, because... it's really difficult when we only have like 4 people who got there, but also... Like, it would be... Obviously, I could have just had them wait until the others caught up, but like I'm filming a video here, you know, let's be reasonable. We gotta get through this in a timely fashion. But yeah, Gaiden is also quite slow right now, so like he's not, his agility hasn't increased that much. Well, I guess these buddies will eventually get here. Yeah, this probably will be the end of Gaiden. Yeah, Edmond is getting his turn a lot. And getting multiple attacks as well. I mean, well, at least he didn't get 2 attacks that time, but jeez. He got his turn again real fast. That was not good. Okay. Look at the evil ring. That actually does cast Bolt too when you use it, but I don't want to waste the turn getting it before we go. Does he have an item that can heal him? He doesn't. You know what? I'm willing to sacrifice him and just get off an attack. We gotta get through this eventually, and where's he gonna run to? Man, he was a bit useless anyway. Oh, and we got a counterattack? Jeez. Maybe I should have had Guy and just run for it. It's not like he contributed a lot there. Ah, dear. Dear, dear. Mingo is not really able to help out, but I guess even 1 point of damage is something. And like, it's so cheap to res them that it's like, whatever. You can just stand there and get hit by Edmond, I guess. This game doesn't really discourage you from just sacrificing your units. There's really not a lot of penalty for it. I assume on the harder difficulties it is penalized more. Like, maybe that's part of how they make it harder. That's what I'm guessing. Maybe it's more costly to res them. Because at least on easy mode, you can pretty much get whoever killed that you want. It's still, we usually get more gold for defeating a single enemy than is required to res somebody. This will be the end of Gaiden, but I'm sure he'll be happy to become exhausted, knowing that he did it to help Prince Nick. It's funny, I said this in the first Shining Force as well, but it still kind of cracks me up that, like, I guess they're just set to appear on a timer, because otherwise why are golems appearing up there right now? No one is over there. But it's still funny to me that when characters are defeated, it says that they are exhausted, which seems like one of those like translation things where it's like, we can't say that they died, you know, it's not good for the kids. but then when you go to the camp, it's like, it seems like they're pretty clearly raising them from the dead or whatever, so it's like, why bother with the euphemism? Pretty much just ignoring this golem to continue moving ahead. Having Claude here at least will help, because he's got the critical sword and he's high level. There we go. Where? Now, the king also does have heal 1, so that's certainly annoying, but I guess it's a turn that he won't attack us. If Domingo dies, he wasn't really contributing a lot right now. He already used up all his HP. Sorry, little buddy. Edmund's sprite, it's like well made, but it also, he looks weirdly short. Like, he looks like he's kind of short and stocky. It's sort of silly looking. If we could get Apis over there, that would certainly help, because Apis is very strong, but he's also a horse, so it takes him ages to get through the forest. Every game has horses being super slow in forest, because Shining Force does this too. Or, Fire Emblem, rather. Obviously, we're playing Shining Force right now. Fire Emblem also does that. And I'm like, is this even true in real life? I feel like moving through a dense forest is also difficult for someone on foot. I'm not actually convinced that being on a horse makes you much slower. Because even if the horse has to go at a walk, so will the human, and the horse's walk will be faster than the human's, right? But this is just the thing that's in every tactics game, I feel like. Man, well, he sure can hit hard, I'll say that. I think he's just faster than Dantum is the thing, because Dantum only got in like 1 attack. Well, I mean, I guess the other difference is we had our entire force ready to attack Dantum, whereas here, we clearly do not, because, you know, the circumstances being what they are. These golems are actually blocking the way forward right now, so we have to actually kill them. Because this, where Shade is standing, is actually the bottom of the map. Even though graphics continue slightly below that, we can't walk onto that square. It's merely aesthetic. This is just, we're like almost at the end of this video. I just don't even have a lot to say either because I'm like, well, this sure is a fight that we're fighting. So there you go. Just gotta keep attacking and whittle him down. This honestly would not be taking nearly as long without the like if our entire army had arrived roughly at the same time, we could just burst him down very quickly, right? Because we'd just be getting so much more damage every turn. Man, he's really focus firing on us one at a time, just staking us out. Yeah, he gets a lot of second attacks too. Jeez, he's really fast. I think is the thing that makes him threatening. He can get his turn frequently. And he can get double attacks. Young Nick. Man, too bad there's not in-battle dialogue, you know, like in Fire Emblem, because you know you'd love to see what these two would say to each other. This is the guy who murdered Nick's father, so you know he'd probably have some some choice words for him. At least they can move better once they're out on the grass, but then they have to go back to the forest. Oh, well actually it's kind of helpful that he moved over to Apis because Apis is real slow, and he can't really hurt Apis easily. So he actually made it easier for us to kill him. Thanks, buddy. We may manage to make this about half an hour yet. I don't know why. I just felt like they were getting a little overwhelmed by the enemies up in the upper left-hand corner because I didn't leave a healer behind with them, but it was really pointless to have them walk all this way. Oh well. This is kind of a tedious battle, so I'm just like, whatever, let's just keep going. Okay, keep going. And Mayfair can help out as well. She's a major grudge against Cyprus because they attacked her, like, town and blinded her. Yeah, just as another reminder, Mayfair is canonically blind, so all of these battles, when they're navigating these different terrains and fighting all of these people and doing all these crazy things, she's doing that while completely blind, and she was only blind like a month ago, so she's basically Batman. She's incredible. Alright, we finally finished this battle. Imagine if right now it turned out that it was one of those battles where you have to kill all the enemies. I would just cry. It would be awful. Nick, you are a traitor to Cyprus. I'm gonna go with no. I think the dude who murdered the king is the bigger traitor. You killed me, your own uncle, to steal my throne. Again, says the guy who murdered his own brother to steal the throne. I feel like Nick would just be side-eyeing him here. Alright, there we go. Don't listen to Edmond. He was just a puppet in Woldol's hands. I actually know who this character is. This is Randolph, and he also appears in Shining Force Gaiden as a character we recruit a bit later in the game. And I guess this is the game where he was introduced. Remember me, Prince Nick? I'm your knight, Randolph, and I am at your service. I'm the only one left from my platoon, and I want to fight Woldol. Randolph the Paladin has joined the Shining Force. It's funny, the joining the Force music is like quieter than the other background music. Let's rest here for a short while, then go confront Woldol. Alright, so we're gonna camp, I guess. There we go. Okay, so let's res our dead friends. It's only 200 to res up our archer buddy. And they're pretty high level too. And we're getting like 300 gold per enemy we kill at this point. There we go. And now we can also check out, while we're here, let's check out our new members. Member status. Okay, so we got a couple new friends who we didn't look at yet. So here's new friend Shriek. He has only the steel sword, so maybe we can get him a better weapon soon. Ah, his defenses are real bad. He's fragile. Agility of 19. Gaiden actually got a lot faster. He was so slow when we first got him, but his agility is now up to 20. He's really gained stats rapidly since promoting. I'm happy. Hopefully he can gain even more attack, because Mayfair is still outdoing him right now. Although they are different levels, to be fair. Compared to Claude, I mean, Claude is level 11 and he's not, but still, compared to Claude, Claude is So tanky. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, and Claude is faster, he's tankier. Shriek's attack isn't bad. You know, it's competitive with some of our other characters, especially the ones who don't have like upgraded weapons, like special weapons. You know, like Stock is still just using a Robin's arrow, which isn't as strong. But you know, his attack isn't amazing or anything either. Randolph is also where you're like, I guess he's okay, but Apis is already so good. I don't need to replace him. Yeah, I feel like Shriek, I don't know if he's really competitive with the rest of the party, but let's hear their talk lines anyway. Yeehaw! That's why they call me Shriek, because... So is that his nickname? I guess that's a nickname, because otherwise it's like, did you do that at birth? Is that where they got the idea? That scar? Merely evidence of youthful carelessness. Apparently it didn't, like, damage his eye at all, so I guess he's fine. Okay, and let's see if we finally have some of the better weapons to buy, now that we have a shop again. Ooh, we do indeed. So, it looks like it is going to be shopping time. We're going to, wow, the healing rain. I think that heals, like, the entire party, basically. You don't really need it, though. But yeah, so I will upgrade everyone's weapons and get everyone the latest gear, and I think we're pretty set on the party for now. I don't think I'm going to use Randolph or Shriek. As much as I love the bird people, Shriek is, like, he sure has incredibly low defenses for a melee fighter. And his agility is not amazing or anything. You know, it's just like our other characters just are pretty strong already, and you know, the only one I might swap out is Cray, and he's pretty strong. But you know, it'll be potential consideration if I really want another flyer, but it's not non-urgent. But thank you for watching that fairly tedious battle, hypothetical viewers, but we finally defeated King Edmond, and now we have to press on and confront Woldol, who has corrupted Cyprus in the name of the evil Iome. I don't remember what's going to happen in the next battle, but I feel like Randolph just... Oh, we're going to rest before confronting whatever, so I have no idea where the hell we're going next, but presumably to confront Woldol. So look forward to that in the next episode of Shining Force Gaiden.